Alrighty, it's a little windy out here, but let's make a video. I'm out here at one of the fields I run my dog at. It's the only one here other than some crows and some wildlife, but hopefully the wind doesn't ruin this video because this is a subject that I want to discuss. And I wanted to discuss addictions and how they have us by the balls completely. Addictions have us by the balls, ladies and gentlemen. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you're already aware of that. I don't care if it's addiction to food, addiction to masturbation, addiction to things like alcohol, drugs, prescription medications, you name it. And I was an alcoholic for years, pretty much the worst kind of alcoholic. I was in the alcohol game for, years. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. I used to drink about 750 milliliters of vodka every night. And eventually that got so bad that I was drinking a half gallon every 2 days. So I drank so much and destroyed my liver to such an extent that I do believe I was dying, because I went through delirium tremens, which is the worst form of alcohol withdrawal, a handful of times. Probably, God, I can't even put a number on it. That's how many times I went through the DTs. And the DTs, a lot of people don't make it. Your body is shutting down when you go through the DTs. And God, I remember I was turning blue at one point, massive hallucinations, seeing things like the Grim Reaper, you name it. So there was one point where I was looking at the mirror when I was going through one of my worst DT experiences, and this red purple rash was just moving all around my body, on my face. It was moving. It's just the worst thing I've ever experienced. Delirium tremens is not something that I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. It is horrible, because you feel like you're dying, and it's not a pleasurable death experience. I consider it a near-death experience, and it's not a pleasurable one, let me tell you. You feel like you're going through impending doom, and you feel like you're being taken into the pits of hell. And your heart usually accelerates to such an extent that you can hear it beating you can just hear it beating. It's beating that hard and that rapidly, and it's accompanied with horrible hallucinations of maggots and different bugs eating you, and just dark figures, and it's horrible. So I know what it's like to be addicted to a negative, very, very negative substance. Alcohol is horrible. In my opinion, this shit should not be legal. It kills so many people each year. It's just insane. And it's not funny, but it's just, you can go to a gas station and buy alcohol. The place where you're supposed to fill your vehicle with gas, you can buy alcohol. So you can drive your car to the gas station and buy some booze, fill your car up with fuel, and get on the road and crack your tall boy or whatever it is that you do. I just had a family member, one of his best friends, 23-year-old, died by a 51-year-old drunk driver. And guess what? The drunk driver, all he did was break his wrist. So now he's going to spend his life in jail for the rest of his life, regretting the fact that he got behind the wheel while he drank some fucking alcohol. I hope that this message in my channel can help inspire you to walk the opposite direction. I don't even recommend casual drinking or social drinking. I think it's all poisonous, and I think we live in a culture which perpetuates this poison and venerates it. Usually you're introduced to alcohol in high school, and usually that laps over into the adulthood. But it's not just alcohol that's fucking us. It's excessive tobacco, excessive prescription drugs, excessive TV. I mean, you can get addicted to anything. So yeah, I think everything in moderation, that's okay to some extent, but for some of us, abstinence is the key, especially for me, because in 4 years I drank more alcohol than most people will drink their entire lives. So I've spent over a year now, or over 2 years now, just heavily attempting to regenerate my liver and get back on track and replace the damage that I did to myself. And even when I was an alcoholic, I was heavily into herbalism and natural health, and I was taking all sorts of supplements at the time, and to me alcohol was my escape, and it's not a good escape. That's the dangerous thing about these substances. They give you a false sense of security while it's killing you, and that's why addiction is of the devil. Addiction is evil. It will kill you. It can kill you. It kills people every day. Young people, young adults, teenagers, you name it. And that's the dangerous thing about many of these prescription drugs or alcohol in general. I mean, you take too much of this shit and you're on your way out. And unless you get to the fucking ER in time or this and that, you're done. This beautiful gift of life can be ruined at the expense of popping a handful of pills or drinking too much booze. Many young adults drink too much alcohol and they never wake up. So I hope that if you are an alcoholic, or even if you're a casual drinker, I hope that this message can inspire you to kind of second guess and reevaluate the decisions you're making. And again, I'm not perfect. I was an alcoholic for years. But as someone who's gone through the worst withdrawals many times, I feel the duty to get on here and to attempt to inspire people to walk in the opposite direction. Alcohol is one of the easiest substances to get your hands on, and it only takes a little taste of this stuff to feel the numbing effect it has on your physiology, and that's what people are falling in love with. People don't like the taste of alcohol. Come on. People like the way it makes them feel because it's a social lubricant. It's an anti-anxiety. It's a way of combating anxiety. So many people who do become alcoholics have severe anxiety issues, such as myself. But there are ways to negate this. There are ways to maneuver around this stuff. You have to ask yourself why you're having the anxiety. Chances are you're having anxiety. The anxiety is trying to tell you something. So many times people will get severe anxiety because their gut health is completely debauched. Sometimes you'll get anxiety because you have a ton of candida in your system. Your blood's polluted. You have excessive amounts of parasites directing your course in life. It's not like you were born and there's something wrong with you. It's because there's something inside your system that's out of balance. And all it takes is a little bit of hard work and to not act like such a victim to attempt to heal yourself. You get much more out of life when you do the right thing instead of the wrong thing, just because it's the easy thing to do. So, again, out here running my dog, just enjoying life. I've been given many second chances, and you know, it just sucks to have to ask for a second chance a million fucking times is what I'm getting at. So when you do get a second chance, hopefully you can embrace the moment and ride the current of it so that you don't have to ask for another second chance and another one and another one. Because let me tell you, when you think you're dying, whether you from excessive alcohol use or prescription drug abuse, you ask for a second chance. I prayed so much when I was going through the DTs, and the first few times I went through it, I prayed to God and said, I will never drink again if you give me a second chance. 2 weeks later, I was hitting the bottle. So it wasn't until my worst delirium tremens experience that I actually decided that I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm done. Haven't touched it since. And the beautiful thing is, once you stay away from a substance that you're addicted to that's ruining your life for long enough, you begin to hate it. You begin to get angry with it. And that's a good thing. You need to learn to hate your addictions that are not serving you, because they're killing you. And why would you love something that's killing you? Find your ball, Bug. Where'd you drop it? Luna, you want to say hi? Tired? So yeah, addictions are a horrible thing. However, you can be addicted to good things. You could be addicted to juice fasting or juicing fruits and vegetables. You could be addicted to loving life. These are good things to be addicted to. These are salubrious things to be addicted to. These are things that give back, that make you feel fulfilled in life, not drained and depleted and miserable. So again, I mean, it's just insane how much meth is being used by the youth now, in the alcohol, in all the genetically modified marijuana, which is actually a weaponized, system against your genetics. Cannabis is nothing like it used to be. It's been spliced and hybridized and mixed and matched and genetically altered. It has way too much tetrahydrocannabinoid in it, also known as THC. And the average typical marijuana nowadays will turn you into a fried egg in a chair. So it's really hard to question your addictions. They give you a false sense of comfort unless you abuse it to such an extent where you feel like you're dying. When you feel like you're dying, you can summon quite a bit of enthusiasm and encouragement to change your ways. And that's why I'm actually thankful I went through the DTs, because I don't think that if I wouldn't have gone through delirium tremens and all the near-death experiences that I had from alcohol abuse, I'd probably still be drinking the shit. And alcohol numbs everything. It makes things easier. But it also can turn you into an absolute fool, an idiot, adult, a moron. So, again, question the things you've been clinging to. So I'm going to wrap this one up on behalf of the Sacred Starseed Serpent YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this video can help inspire you to question your day-to-day algorithms. Question what it is you put into your stomach and into your goddamn mouth. Peace be with you.